The companies that work are the ones that people really care about and have a vision for the world. So do something you like. A quote from Mark Zuckerberg. Hi, I'm Andrew Parronchi, and today I will be giving you a review from The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People from Stephen R. Covey. Our character is made up of several different habits. Stephen R. Covey describes 7 of them. They move from the stages of dependence to independence, from independence to interdependence. I will be discussing 3 of those habits. First, begin with the end in mind. Secondly, seek first to understand, then to be understood. And lastly, the renewal called sharpening the saw. So let's begin. The first habit, begin with the end in mind, comes from the section of the book called The Private Victory. This is a transition from dependence to interdependence. And the point of this chapter is to develop a principle-oriented persona, to have a mission statement, to really think of what your end goal is, and the entire time throughout your education, throughout your life and career, be working with that mission statement and always with the vision of the end. This chapter really reminded me of the assignment called the mission statement as we are branding ourselves in the class Arbus 300. I created a mission statement and I have my goal for the end, and what I do throughout my education always has that in mind. Secondly, I am discussing seek first to understand, then to be understood. Now this chapter comes from the section in the book called Public Victory. Public victory is the transition from independence to interdependence. Now this habit is called the most important interpersonal skill. You really need to listen to someone empathetically, effectively listen, the same way you would want someone to listen to you. When they are speaking, don't have the reply in mind. Take in first what they are telling you, think about it, and then give your reply. Because that is the same you would want done towards yourself. You would want someone to listen to you while you speak and then think of a reply. Once you understand them, you can truly understand yourself. Next, we are going to move on to renewal. Renewal is called sharpening the saw. It encompasses the 6 habits. Therefore, it is the 7th habits that concludes the book. It reminds us to take time out of production and focus on physical, spiritual, mental, social factors of your life. They are the dimensions of our nature. In physical, take care of your body. Very simple. In spiritual, commit to things that uplift you and make you feel better. Mentally, focus on your mind. Read a book like this one. Write, organize yourself, plan your life. Social and emotional is a big focus on your interpersonal relations, like your family, your friends. If you've noticed, some of these things that I'm talking about come from the 2 previous habits that I discussed. The point of this chapter is to really take the 6 habits and make them a part of your life and renew them. It is important to have a balance in all 4 of these dimensions that I discussed because they all rely on each other. From then, work on an upward spiral. Really commit to continuously improving yourself. Learn to commit and have higher planes. The relation I found from this final chapter of the book to the class was from another assignment called personal branding. When you are doing personal branding, you take different dimensions and they all rely on each other. When you're doing personal branding, you are always renewing yourself and ensuring to always sharpening the saw. Even the lecture we had on celebrity endorsements, a lot of those celebrities maintain current and have jobs because they are always renewing themselves. So in conclusion, I talked about 3 habits from the 7 habits of highly effective people. 1 was a transition from dependence to independence, which was begin with the end in mind. Secondly, I transitioned from independence to interdependence, the most important interpersonal skill. Seek first to understand others, to then be understood. And lastly, to encompass everything, the renewal, sharpening the saw, which is made up of the 4 dimensions. To conclude this speech, this book review, I'm closing off with a quote by Stephen R. Covey in The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This was a quote that really spoke to me. While you can think in terms of efficiency in dealing with time, a principle-centered person thinks in terms of effectiveness of dealing with people.